begin. Team USA's Gabby Thomas won the first round of the women's 200-meter sprint here in Paris today, but off the track, she told our Kate Snow about her life's other mission.
Here comes Gabby Thomas!
Gabby Thomas doesn't really know how to slow down.
Thomas is going to get another national title!
She's one of the fastest women in the world, already a champion. She trains every day with other Olympians and hopefuls in Austin, but that's just part of her day.
You train 3 to 6 hours a day, and you still find time to go to a clinic at night.
Exactly, yeah.
At night, Gabby works at the volunteer healthcare clinic for people who lack insurance.
There's a lot about you that I think is a little different than the average Olympian. You went to Harvard.
Yeah.
Neurobiology.
Exactly.
That's where she took a class about the disparities in the American healthcare system and the impact on people of color. After Harvard, a master's in public health from the University of Texas. She attributes her drive to her single mom. When she and her twin brother were young, their mom waitressed and took classes to become a professor.
She showed me in real time growing up what it's like to go after your dreams and to achieve them and become successful. I watched her just achieve all of that by herself and while raising us.
Gabby says her running was just a side hustle when she was younger.
Most Olympians have been running their whole lives, especially in high school. They were breaking state, records. That wasn't you.
No, I was pretty good in high school, but I wasn't looking ahead at running in college.
But once she got to Harvard, she caught fire, breaking the NCAA indoor collegiate record in the 200 meters.
So I was pushing myself in the classroom, in my extracurriculars, and on the track. And it forced me to just get better at everything I was doing.
She won 2 medals in Tokyo. After a hamstring injury set her back, she built in time for recovery and rest.
The way I became successful in track and field was basically running track part-time. And I think for me, that's really important for my mental health, just having other things in my life that help fulfill my goals and make me feel fulfilled.
4 years from now, she'd love to be at the LA Olympics. But one day, she dreams of running a hospital or a nonprofit to expand access to healthcare.
In 5 years, I hope that I'm doing the same thing I'm doing now, which is letting my passions drive me.
I'm trying to help people.
Exactly.
Kate Snow, NBC News, Austin.
When we come back from Paris, how families are cheering athletes on to victory.
Known as a loving parent. Known for lessons that matter. Known for being a free spirit. No one wants to be known for cancer, but a treatment can be. Keytruda is known to treat cancer. FDA approved for 17 types of cancer. One of those cancers is advanced non-squamous, non-small cell lung cancer, where Keytruda is approved to be used with certain chemotherapies as your first treatment if you do not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene.
Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body during or after treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, fever, rash, itching or flushing. There may be other side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems. If you've had or plan to have an organ, tissue, or stem cell transplant, receive chest radiation, or have a nervous system problem.
Depending on the type of cancer, Keytruda may be used alone or in combination with other treatments, and is also being studied in hundreds of clinical trials exploring ways to treat even more types of cancer. It's true. Keytruda from Merck. See all the types of cancer Keytruda is known for at Keytruda.com and ask your doctor if Keytruda could be right for you.
Pod's biggest sale of the summer is extended. Save up to 25% on moving and storage until August 12th. And see why Pods has been trusted with over 6 million moves. But don't wait. Use promo code BIG25 to save. Visit pods.com today.
Did you know that if you shave, 1/3 of what you remove is skin? New Dove helps repair it. So if you shave it, Dove it. New Dove. Replenish your skin after every shave.
Hey, I'll give you $574 if you switch.
For Gerald? Well, okay. So what about $574 for switching your home insurance to Allstate?
Well, I try not to think about home insurance too complicated.
Actually, Allstate can handle the switching for you. Just call them.
It's that easy to save?
Yep.
and you get Allstate.
Oh, well, that's a step up. Goodbye, Joe.
Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The opening of the 2024 Summer Olympics was celebrated in spectacular fashion. My favorite part of the Olympics. What is it like to have a medal around your neck? Finally tonight, loved ones are finally back in the stands after 2 Olympics when COVID forced families to cheer from afar. Stephanie Gosk has more tonight on just how much it means.
There it is! Oh my goodness!
Olympians often say they wouldn't be here if it weren't for their families. So it makes perfect sense that having their families here for this moment is equally important.
Honestly, this is what matters most.
Whether it's cheering in the stands, rugby player Alona Marr's family celebrating the team's last-second win, or the hugs after the event.
And Murph is back on a podium at the Olympics.
For swimmer Ryan Murphy, there was an added bonus this week after his bronze medal finish in the 100-meter backstroke.
Tonight was extra special. My wife just told me we're having a baby girl.
The 5-time gold medal winner and his wife will be new parents this January.
So it's just like really emotional and like such a perfect moment together. We'll like love that forever.
You really surprised him.
Oh yeah.
In Tokyo, Murphy made it to the podium while his family watched from the other side of the world.
We were Zooming remotely. It was hard not to be there.
But now in Paris, a new wave of medals with joy and support to be shared in person.
It's nice to like be able to look up and see your family in the stands.
And then there are the Olympians with children themselves. Caleb Dressel hugging his baby boy after winning gold.
What did it mean for you to have them there in this moment?
It's special. We know we don't do this by ourselves. Yeah, we need them here, and I'm glad they can make it.
Of course they did. Olympians' families wouldn't miss this for the world. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News, Paris.
That's NBC Nightly News for this Sunday. NBC's primetime coverage of the Olympics starts at 7 Eastern. I'll see you back here tomorrow night from Paris. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
Prime time in Paris, tonight on NBC and Peacock. Never miss a moment of the 2024 Olympic Games from Paris. For in-depth coverage of the athletes, events, and medal counts, download the NBC News app and watch the...
I'm Matt Dubin of the Dubin Law Group. For over 32 years, Seattle's been my home, and building personal relationships with the clients I serve here, it means something. It means from the moment you hire us, you'll have your own attorney connected to your auto injury case. You can count on us to listen to your concerns and fight for the compensation you deserve. It's simple. We're committed to putting your best interest before our own. And if that's what you expect from your attorney, you'll feel right at home at Dubin Law. Call us today for the compensation you deserve.
At Mattress Depot USA, we believe everyone is entitled to a good night's sleep regardless of their credit situation. That's why we're approving everyone for up to $1,200 towards the purchase of a new mattress with no credit needed. You spend a third of your life in bed, and a comfortable mattress is essential for providing quality of life. $3,000 credit, 100-day same as cash with no credit needed. Only at Mattress Depot USA.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Why? Like, why would they do that in the first place? Because I'm like, that's our fire department.
Now at 6:30, $30,000 worth of equipment firefighters used to save lives in Pierce County stolen. Why the Pierce County Sheriff's Department says the crime does not make sense. And some areas are dropping air quality across Washington state tonight as wildfires scorch tens of thousands of acres. Meteorologist Leah Pizzetti is tracking the areas seeing the biggest impact. Yeah, Madison, I'll have a closer look at the air quality alerts that have been issued for parts of Washington, plus the sunshine that will stick around this week.
I'm Chris Higgin in Paris. There's no pickleball in the Olympics, but I decided to hit the town today to see what the rest of the world thinks of pickleball.
I'm Paul Sylvie on Lake Washington. Great finish today at Seafair. We'll hear from the champ. Plus, the Mariners taking on the Chin. Highlights coming up.
We begin tonight with breaking news. One person has been shot near Spanaway. The Pierce County Sheriff's Department says it happened on 27th Avenue East. Deputies say that they were armed when it happened, and the person fired back at the suspect, who then drove off. We're told the victim was seriously hurt. No word yet on what led up to the shooting. We do have a crew on the way to the scene right now. We'll let you know once we learn more information tonight. Also in Pierce County, thieves steal $30,000 worth of equipment from a fire department in the county, and it is all caught on camera. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Madison Wade. The Pierce County Sheriff's Department hopes the community can help figure out who did this. And King 5's Cornelius Hawker reports from Key Peninsula Fire Department headquarters tonight.
Last Thursday morning, security cameras caught thieves breaking into fire department vehicles in this parking lot. And after hearing about what happened, people in this community are asking one question.
Why? Like, why would they do that in the first place? Because I'm like, that's our fire department.
Grant Kirkpatrick says it's frustrating and infuriating to find out someone stole $30,000 worth of fire equipment and gear from the Key Peninsula Fire Department.
If you take something, everybody else is going to suffer from it.
The Pierce County Sheriff's Department says two thieves, seen in this silver truck, broke into 4 department utility rigs. They stole fire protection and water rescue gear, along with a tracking device to find people in fires and other electronics.
Hopefully, somebody comes across something that looks fire related, you would report it to the Sheriff's Department. I don't think you're going to be able to pawn any of these items.
Sergeant Darren Moss with the Sheriff's Department says he can't understand why someone would steal from Key Peninsula with little hope of making any money off the gear.
It's kind of weird that people would do this, but it's also concerning because this is life-saving equipment that the taxpayers have paid for.
Sergeant Moss points out the firefighters and public are put in danger when someone steals gear like this.
We're talking about life or death. These firefighters don't have their equipment, not just protect themselves, but to go in and rescue other people.
There's hope someone will recognize this silver truck that'll lead them to finding the stolen equipment.
This is the public's property. The public needs their firefighters to have their equipment.
Grant shares this message for whoever stole from the Key Peninsula Fire Department.
Respect more of one another and the community itself.
In Key Center, Cornelius Hawker, King 5 News.
At least 14 people are getting help from the American Red Cross after a fire in Skyway. We first brought you this as breaking news yesterday. King County fire officials say it happened in an apartment building on South 144th Street. Investigators are looking into what started this fire, but it comes after an hours-long standoff. One man was taken into custody after that fire started. Standoff lasted about 2 hours, during which the suspect fired several gunshots as officers staged outside. We are tracking fire activity around West Washington tonight. We want to start with some good news. Firefighters have been able to get a brush fire on Lake Ballinger under control. Now, this is all happening in Mount Lake Terrace. It started this morning and again is under control. Crews are still trying to get several other wildfires under control as well in our state. We're going to highlight 3 of those right now. The Pincer 2 fire in the North Cascades National Park is 100 acres, but it is closing the Cascade River Road and a few campgrounds nearby. That fire was sparked by lightning. Also, we're tracking the Retreat fire that is burning near Yakima with more than 41,000 acres scorched. That fire is partially behind an air quality alert in Yakima County, all due to the smoke. And the Pioneer Fire near Lake Chelan has burned more than 35,000 acres. It's led to many closures and evacuations. The town of Tehican is under a level 3 evacuation order, meaning go now, although some residents have decided to stay behind. Here's a few of the trails that are closed to campers and hikers: Cascade Pass, Horseshoe Basin, and also Flat Creek.
We want to bring in neurologist Leah Pizzetti now. So Leah, we know it's hot, dry outside, making conditions really difficult for these fire crews. And then we're also seeing that haze here into the Puget Sound area.
Right, and that is probably the biggest impact for the most people is those air quality impacts. And we do have a few air quality alerts that have been issued right now by the Department of Ecology. Most of this is for Eastern Washington. This does include the counties of Okanagan, Ferry, Yakima, plus the Yakima and Colville reservations. These are going to be in effect until further notice. So let's take a look at that wildfire smoke. We see as of this evening, Western Washington looking pretty clear. We do have some, these looks like mostly up north around Skagit and Whatcom counties, but you see those red dots around Eastern Washington. Yeah, that's where those fires are burning. So as we progress forward into tomorrow, we'll see that nice push of fresh air from the coast, but we're going to see some smoke sticking around in the immediate areas of those fires, and heat is still going to continue the next couple of days. I'll have a closer look at that coming up.
Good evening from the Stan Sayers pits. Fair and the Hydros have wrapped up. We'll have the final for you, plus the Mariners come up a little later on in the sport. But first, it's the Olympic report, and we'll start with some basketball. The U.S. in action against Germany. Jewel Lloyd does not score, but a solid game by former Husky Kelsey Plum. Strong drive to the hole, 6 points, 5 assists. Plum helping the Americans get back into this one after a slow start. She hits Ace's teammate Jackie Young for the three ball. 19 points for Young to lead the way. U.S. wins it 87-68. Up next, Nigeria in the quarterfinals Wednesday. How about American Kristen Clark, a heavy underdog, just added to the team a month ago. She had moved from Alaska to New York as a venture capitalist. Starts riding her bike through Central Park. Quits her job to focus on cycling. Then comes out and blows away the field in the cycling final. Like a Ledecky 1500 blowout. Nobody is near her at the finish. Faulkner is the first American to win this event in 40 years. The Americans win gold, golf gold in back-to-back games at Xander Schauffele in Tokyo. Now, Scotty Scheffler in Paris. He's 19 under for the tourney, one better than Tommy Fleetwood. Scheffler continues what's been a fabulous year. Along with a gold medal, Scheffler wins also the Masters and the U.S. Open this year. In the men's tennis final, Novak Djokovic completed the Golden Slam by beating Carlos Alcaraz. That's tennis's 4 majors and the Olympics. The Joker could not contain his emotions, sobbing for minutes after the win. It's the final missing piece to an incredible career that included 24 Grand Slam trophies. Has more from Roland Garros.
Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the world. Or is it? As an avid pickleball player, I decided to come to Roland Garros today to see what the rest of the world thinks of pickleball. You ever play pickleball? Pickleball? Yes. You like pickleball? No. No idea. You have not heard of pickleball?
No.
Never heard about that. Never heard of pickleball? No.
No.
Bonjour, I'm looking for pickleball.
Honestly, I have no idea, but maybe I think it's a game that you have like a little round net.
So you can't go in the kitchen.
You cannot go in the kitchen?
Pickleball. Have you heard of pickleball?
Oh, that's a tough question. Yeah, we heard of it, but not of it.
Heard of it, but never played it.
Yeah.
What, have you heard anything good about it?
No.
Oh, yeah. At the Paris Olympics, you can find pins, pink sunsets, parking at the Porte pubs. The menus are covered with peas, but no people with the Parmesan. There's people posing, Parisian pastries, police everywhere, perfect statues, players, but where's the pickleball? This is insane. Have you seen pickleball in Paris yet? No, not here. This group loves Novak Djokovic, but thought I was the joker for asking about pickleball.
I don't know about it.
In the States, we play in parks, even parking garages, but nothing to see in Paris or Poland.
Of pickleball? No, I haven't heard, unfortunately, about the pickleball.
No pickleball in Poland?
No, I haven't heard about it.
I hit the streets. I even peeked over fences. Still no pickleball. I even Googled it. This club, permanently closed. Perplexed? Yes, but when in doubt, find some Americans.
Guys, if you haven't played pickleball yet, you need to.
Love pickleball. It's really a great sport.
So the popularity of pickleball in Paris might not be what it's like in Puyallup, Portland, or Palm Springs, but I'll keep searching and also teaching. So you can't go in the kitchen.
You cannot go in the kitchen?
In Paris, proceed. King 5 Sports.
Here's a look at the final medal count of the day. United States adds another 10 medals for a dominant lead. 5 of those were gold, which puts them into a tie with China for most gold medals.
King 5's medal count is sponsored by T-Mobile.
Coming up tonight in prime time, gold medals for the U.S. in track and swimming, and more medals for the women's gymnastics team. Live in Stan Sayers Pits along the shores of Lake Washington, I'm Paul Silver. Madison.
We never know when this is going to happen next.
Still ahead on King 5 tonight, a plea for help from the Humane Society in Pierce County, its recent intake of dozens of cats, and how it's preparing for the next round of animals looking for homes. Plus 80-degree temperatures sticking around as we start the work week. Such a beautiful day over Lake Washington as Seafair wraps up. We caught this moment earlier this afternoon as Blue Angels perform for the 3rd time. Your first alert forecast is next.
Feel the action with no restraints. No blackouts. And no subscriptions necessary. This is Seattle Kraken on Con, your new home for hockey.
Test the toughness of the Kia Sorento X-Pro and the Kia Sorento Turbo Hybrid. We've recreated some of the wettest springs, hottest summers, windiest falls, and coldest winters to prove these 3-row SUVs were built for the unstoppable. Get 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on select new 2024 Sorento models.
It's just a hobby, a phase, something you'll grow out of. But we at Delta know sometimes you're following something bigger than any route. So welcome to the unexpected athletes of Team USA who followed passion onto flights no one thought they'd ever take. Until they did.
For Attorney General, only Munka Dhingra prosecuted violent criminals, expanded mental health care, and wrote laws protecting reproductive freedom. Only Munka is endorsed by Planned Parenthood votes. Democrat Munka Dhingra for Attorney General.
It's Toyota's national sales event. Swipe into end of summer fun with an exciting new Toyota. Whether you're paddleboarding in a RAV4, mountain biking in a Tacoma, or tubing with your best friends in a Camry, you'll find plenty to post about all summer long.
Lease a dynamic new 24 Tacoma for $389 a month. Lease a legend new 24 4Runner for $499 a month. Or choose 4.99 APR financing.
Come in today. Ooh, like
Toyota, let's go places.
A happy place comes in many colors, like one that gets you all fired up. Bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy.
Follow the chase for the gold in Paris, only on King 5.
I choose King 5 mornings for the people. I feel connected to them, their families, their hobbies. They keep me on my toes and in the know. That's why I love King 5 mornings.
It is time for your first alert forecast. A gorgeous day over Western Washington as Seafair wraps up on the water and in the skies. Meteorologist Pizzetti is tracking those hot and dry conditions, though, through the week, and a few areas of dropping air quality, too.
Dropping air quality. We'll get to that in a moment, but can we start on some positives?
Yes,
The Blue Angels. Who got to see them today? Thank you to our director who's in the booth right now, Garrett, for snapping this video. I love it. We have Mount Rainier. We have the Blue Angels flying on in, and then we have a seagull trying to race them. Seagull lost. Blue Angels won. I think we have a video. Let's see. 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 Let going though. It was a beautiful day out there. And as we head into the next couple of days, we're going to hold on to these warmer conditions, but we're actually going to cool down a little bit the next few days. So let's take a closer look at what we're expecting for tomorrow. Big picture, more sun, more heat. The next couple of days, though, we'll see some morning cloud coverage, but we will get that nice afternoon sunshine, a little bit of cooling into Tuesday, and then a little bit of warming into the end of the week. But all in all, no major swings. It's just a couple degrees here and there. So tomorrow morning, as you're waking up, we're going to see a little bit of cloud coverage tomorrow, mostly along the afternoon, around Puget Sound, lots of sunshine, still some cloud coverage hanging on over along the coast for tomorrow. Daytime highs for tomorrow will be a little bit cooler. 70s and 80s are expected across western Washington. That's pretty close to normal for this time of year. Still a touch warm normal, though. We've been staying above average these last couple of days. Hourly breakdown around north counties, Everett showing we'll see sunshine throughout the day. Temperature is staying in the 70s through most of our afternoon hours. Actually pretty comfortable out there. And down south in Tacoma, there's that morning cloud coverage. It's quick to clear. We'll see lots of sunshine hitting those 80s into the afternoon. Here's that air quality that we were just talking about. Western Washington, we're looking okay. We have that nice fresh air pushing in. But Eastern Washington, that's where we're going to see some air quality issues. That's where we have those air quality alerts that are in place as potentially unhealthy for sensitive groups into some of those areas closest to those fires that we've been tracking. Let's take a closer look at Tuesday. This is going to be our coolest day of the week. Cloud coverage looking a little more dense as the day starts Tuesday morning. It will still clear into the afternoon, but we'll still see some cloud coverage hanging on. Same recipe over along the coast. That's going to really help keep temperatures on the cooler side. So 70s with maybe a few 80s for our coastal community. This is going to be gradually warming up. Looks like we'll see 80s and even nearing and surpassing the 90s as we head into the end of this work week. Looks like Thursday into Friday and lingering into Saturday will be our warmest days of the week, but staying for the most part in the 80s this week.
The King 5 Sports Report, sponsored by Xfinity. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because only live once.
We're back in the Stan Sayers pits on Lake Washington. This is the Beacon Electric boat. J. Michael Kelly was the winner today here at Seafair. They're all heading out. We'll get to the Hydros in the official league. Head over to T-Mobile Park and a lot of action for at least the Phillies. Logan Gilbert earns another quality start, his 18th, and tied for first in the majors. Gilbert's only mistake came on the third pitch of the game. Kyle Schwarber slugs a solo home run to lead us today. They relied on defense to keep him in it in the seventh. Victor Robles gets on his horse, robs JT Realmuto of extra bases. Robles keeping it a no-fly zone with Julio still hurt. Phillies return the favor in the bottom of the seventh. Jorge Polanco deep. Brandon Marsh is it. Son just kind of throws his glove out there and comes up with a catch. Hummel the bullpen. And they hit 3 home runs in the inning. Bryce Harper clobbers one of them, and the Mariners lose today 6-0.
You're still thinking you got a shot, 1-0, hanging in there. You know, in games like that, you got to catch a break. I was hoping the ball would get in the sun on Marsh somehow to play, but we got away, and we just weren't able to solve Zach Wheeler.
San Diego, Seattle Seawolves playing in the MLR title game for the time in 6 seasons. The defending champs, New England Free Jack, in the way. Joe Tafa-Tehe scores Seattle's first try in the game. Seawolves down 14-8 at halftime. Second half, Matt Mason's kick keeps it close, but that's the final points for Seattle. Seawolves lose 20-11. Free Jacks win their second title, tied for most championships with Seattle. Great, man, they got it going today, and a great finish in this race. Came down to 2 Hydros down the stretch. Corey Peabody and the Beacon Plumbing received a minute penalty for encroachment in the lead to start of the race. While one Beacon boat dropped back, the other shined bright. J. Michael Kelly rides the Beacon Electric to his 4th straight win at Seafair, his 6th overall in Seattle. Dave Bilwalk makes history. At 70 years old, he becomes the oldest to ever drive an unlimited hydroplane at Seafair. He comes in 3rd place right behind Jamie Nilsson and the Miss Mercury's Coffee. For Kelly, there's nothing like winning in Seattle.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, after my crash last weekend in Tri-Cities, to bounce back after a long weekend and come out on top in the final, just absolutely amazing feeling. Got an amazing group of guys and gals on my race team that spent a lot of time putting my boat back together. And so without them, I definitely wouldn't have been up here.
J. Michael Kelly loves winning in Seattle again, 6-time champion here on Lake Washington. We'll be right back.
The King 5 Sports Report, sponsored by Xfinity. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity because it's only live once.
Trusted forecast. It matters most. King 5's first alert weather.
This new Kraken season is shaping up to be something special with new faces behind the bench, new all-stars on the ice, and new ways to watch all season long. For free.
Cue the maestro!
Feel the action with no restraints, blackouts, and no subscriptions necessary. This is Seattle Kraken on Con, your new home for hockey.
In all of Seattle, there's no place like Wicked.
So if you can't find me, look to the western sky.
Wicked, the original Broadway blockbuster, flies back to the Paramount Theater from November 6th through December 1st only. NBC Nightly News calls it the most successful Broadway show ever. Visit stgpresents.org to get Wicked.
Struggling with moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis? Talk to your doctor about #1 prescribed Entyvio, offering 2 maintenance options, including the Entyvio pen. Infusion and allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection. Entyvio, relief, remission for real.
Entyvio.
Democrat Emily Randall would make history as the first LGBT who has taken on extremists, flipped a Republican seat from red to blue, and protected women's reproductive rights. It's why Emily Randall is endorsed by Planned Parenthood and Senator Patty Murray. Let's make history with Democrat Emily Randall for Congress. Protect proxy for the content.
Seattle Opera an acting troupe goes into clowns, but comedy turns to tragedy when jealousy rages and infidelity is revealed. A classic 1930s production, Broadway worlds, absolutely superb. Don't miss SeattleOpera.org.
We return now to breaking news we first brought you at the top of this show. One person has been shot near Spanaway. This is a live look at the scene tonight. The Pierce County Sheriff's Department says the victim was armed when it happened, and she fired back at the suspect, who then drove off. We're told there was some sort of confrontation before that shooting happened. We do know deputies are looking for a male driver. We'll let you know once we learn more from Pierce County tonight. The Humane Society for Tacoma and Pierce County is asking for help after taking in more than 30 cats that were on an unsafe property. This is all happening at a time when the shelter is already overcrowded. King 5's Brady Wakiama reports from Pierce County.
We never know what's going to come to our doors on any given day. So the community's continued support really makes a world of difference.
A difference for animals in desperate need of a new home. Like the 33 cats and kittens that were taken in from a Pierce County property last month.
Our veterinary team immediately sprung into action, treating them accordingly. There was, upper respiratory infections among the cats, so administering antibiotics, ointments.
That number of animals coming in all at once puts a significant strain on the Humane Society for Tacoma and Pierce County, relying on its medical care, supplies, and space.
As an open admission shelter, as soon as one animal is adopted or placed into a foster home, their kennel is quickly filled with another animal.
She anticipates more animals coming in from that Pierce County property, which is now under investigation, adding to an already overcrowded shelter.
We have about 90 animals that are ready to go home right now, available for adoption, and then we have about upwards of 400 that are in total.
Despite that total, she and her staff promise their doors will always be open for animals in need, and hope the community will consider opening their homes too.
We always are looking for our community support, whether it be through donations, fostering, gifting, to help us so that we can help animals in need like this.
Reporting in Tacoma, Brady Wakayama, King 5 News.
And we'll have a last look at your forecast when King 5 News returns.
This summer, it's time to get away with super hot deals on your favorite Hyundai models. All backed by America's best warranty. Plus 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. But act fast because these deals will be over before you know it. Get in and get away now. Get 0% APR for 60 months or 14,000 lease bonus cash on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Hurry in to the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
I love watching King 5 Mornings because I love who they are as people. I've been watching Rich since I started watching the Free Food. Shante does a great job of reporting where the topic is.
They know the information that I want, and they're great to watch.
I'm Matt Dubin of the Dubin Law Group. For over 32 years, Seattle's been my home, and building personal relationships with the clients I serve here, it means something. It means from the moment you hire us, you'll have your own attorney connected to your auto injury case. You can count on us to listen to your concerns and fight for the compensation you deserve. It's simple. We're committed to putting your best interest before our own. And if that's what you expect from your attorney, you'll feel right at home at Dubin Law. Call us today for the compensation you deserve.
Whoa, Nelly. iPhone 15 with tons of storage. I really want one.
Yo, you went 14 times on the LPGA tour. Since when is one enough for you?
That is true.
Get your head out of the T-Mobile and get 4 iPhone 15s on them and 4 lines for just $25 a line. And you can save on every plan versus the other big guys.
Swing big at Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 15s and 4 lines for $25 a line.
4.
King 5 News is sponsored in part by T-Mobile.
The future of Washington State Ferries is electric. In a story you will only see on King 5, we sit down with the man at the helm. He says his top concerns are the same as frustrated passengers.
I think it's important that people understand that I know and we know that we're not meeting expectations right now, but we do have plans in place to get there. It's just going to take time and patience.
Tomorrow on King 5 Mornings, you'll get an exclusive.
And before we leave you tonight, thank you, Chris, for sending us this photo of the Eiffel Tower. They had some lovely blue skies, but hey, we have the blue. Hopefully you got a look at them. It has been a show this weekend.
Oh, I love those videos. So beautiful. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.
At Toyota's National Sales Event, we've got a long lineup of vehicles for summer fun, like Camry, RAV4, Highlander, BZ4X, Tundra, Corolla Hybrid, Tacoma, Sienna, Toyota Crown, Ford.
Lease a powerful new 2024 Tundra for $579 a month, or get one with 1.99 APR financing. Or choose $2,000 customer cash.
Come in today.
Healthcare. The last thing we need is anti-choice Republican Dave Reichert as our governor. And Reichert voted for a nationwide abortion ban with criminal penalties for doctors. Not just once, not even twice. Reichert voted 3 times to outlaw abortion, even here in Washington. And all Washingtonians, we can't give Dave Reichert the chance to take away our reproductive freedom.
David, did you remember to get me an anniversary present?
Anniversary? Of course. It's Mattress Depot USA's anniversary, and we're having a gigantic sale.
Take advantage of our best prices
of the year.
And interest-free financing.
David, you do know anniversaries only come once a year, right?
Yes, and if you miss ours, you'll be sorry.
At Delta, we're proud to give a little back on a journey that has pushed Team USA and often to get to Paris.
It's only on King 5. On a sunny Sunday in Paris, the road race in women's cycling taking over the city streets. What a scene, just what the organizers envisioned. There were thousands of fans lining the course, and late in the race, a surprise for Team USA. Kristen Faulkner among the top 4 riders. Faulkner was a college rower. She's working in venture capital, looking for a hobby. 7 years later, she's an Olympian, and today, found history.
Oh, what a compelling finish, and there goes Faulkner. There she goes. She launching the acceleration after they crossed the Seine.
Blanca Voss trying to get back with Mariana Voss on her wheel, but that's a great move by Kristen Faulkner.
2 miles left to go, just minutes away from medals.
Incredible power by Faulkner, just nose to the grindstone now. Mariana Voss can't come around. Blanca Voss, nor can Lotte Kopecky.
Is chasing the American Kristen Faulkner. The gap is exploding. She is riding away to a potential gold medal. This is stunning. A breathtaking acceleration, an attack for all time. In a city of artists, this is a true avant-garde performance by Kristen Faulkner, the rower from Harvard, who's been riding a bike less than a decade. Kristen Faulkner from the small town of Homer, Alaska, making the turn across the Seine is the genuine article. And Kristen Faulkner in the shadow of the Eiffel Tower with a landmark U.S. gold medal in the women's road race.
Steve Schlanger and Bob Roll on the call. 31-year-old Kristen Faulkner on the bike, bringing home gold in a race that isn't even her specialty. Her parents, John and Sarah, all the way from Homer, Alaska, there to give her a huge hug. Talk about Gold Rush weekend. A stunning win for Team USA on the bike. Just the start of an unforgettable Sunday in Paris. The middle weekend of the games of the 33rd Olympiad in Paris. An Olympics that have already been worthy of their extraordinary backdrop. The City of Light welcoming the athletes of the world. What a brilliant setting for a gathering that will take its place in the long and storied history of this global capital. One of the biggest stories the past week, Caleb Dressel and the American swim team battling arch rival Australia, the final chapter in the chase for gold tonight. Suni Lee came into the uneven bars with a gold and bronze already in these games, aiming to add to her collection this evening. And then Noah Lyles, the brash American who considers himself the heir to Usain Bolt. Tonight, the race is on to claim the official title of world's fastest man.
And we watch it all from our spot across the River Seine. A look above to our home here at the Cafe de l'Eau for this evening. Hi, everyone. Mike Tirico. So glad you are back with us at the Olympics and on primetime in Paris. Our event of the night will take us to the track for the men's 100-meter final featuring the reigning world champ, Noah Lyles. And we'll head to the pool with 2 U.S. teams going for gold in the 4x100-meter medley relays. Those races will be brought to you with limited commercial by VS. And we'll start with swimming. Sweden, Sarah Schoister, a gold medalist in the 100-meter freestyle, sprinting for pool.
Dan Hicks back with Rowdy Gaines. Melissa Stark will join us in a bit, as well as Elizabeth Beisel, who is Rowdy in the overall department. 25 into this final night, but Australia with a 1 gold medal lead as we approach these 4 finals.
How about that? 7-6 going into the last event. The United States has 4 chances at gold tonight.
Australia really puts a focus on those golds, so we'll be charting that as we head down the 4 finals. But it's Sarah Sjöström of Sweden, who is about as big a favorite as you could imagine in a 50-meter free race. She's 30 years old. She already won the 100, and out comes Gretchen Walsh, the lone American in this final. Simone Manuel, who won the event at the U.S. trials, did not make it out of the prelims, so Gretchen Walsh will be in lane 5 right next to Sjöström, who was just incredible in the 100 free, became the oldest winner of that event earlier. But there is Gretchen Walsh. She was a part of the gold medal winning mixed medley relay last night, and she dedicated that, disqualified in the final of the Wins 2.
Here we go, Rowdy. Oh, nice start there by Sjöström right there, lane number 4. Walsh has the best breakout of any of them. Walsh can get
just because the vegetables or because the vegetables or because the psychedelics? Just because the vegetables or because the psychedelics?
This show is brought to you by Track. Never lose anything.
Oh, just because the vegetables or just because the psychedelics?
Again, gold in the 50. Matt Harris got the silver for Australia. Sean Buffet took the bronze. And Gretchen Walsh was 4th. By 1/100th of a second. How many times have we said that, Dan? I mean, how many times, and if there's any doubt whatsoever that she's not the greatest female sprinter in history, she's that.
Greetings from Podcastville. The church is brought to you by FujiSports.com. If you're looking for a gi, if you're looking for shin guards, if you're looking for boxing gloves, mouthpiece, whatever the fuck you're looking for, Fuji's been there since day one. They survived the bomb. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't fucking around. Me, I'm a big fat fuck. I go to jiu-jitsu, they tug, they pull. The fucking Fuji gis are tremendous. Go to FujiSports.com right now and press in church. Bam, you get 10% off, sent right to the fucking casa. You don't have to leave the house up with something new and revolutionary for you. You ready for this one? SoloJitsu.com. These are those playing cards that have like hip escapes on and roll overs. And what you do is by yourself. You're in the hotel. And you put the card and you play 2 hip escapes. Whatever the fucking cost, whatever the fucking calls for, you do. Push up, whatever. And at least you get entertained by yourself. Go to SoloJitsu.com. Tell them I sent you to take a look, all right? Kick this fucking meal, dude. What's happening, Mr. Garcia?
How you doing, man? Sitting there trying to figure out who it is.
His name is Hollywood Henderson.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and this motherfucker was the guy that invented cocaine. Like he,
oh my god,
he fucking took
to the next level, like in the NFL.
Wasn't he on that Dolphins team?
Cowboys. He was a linebacker on 80 in Playboy.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the best articles I've ever read in my life. I then Sergio taped and sent it to me. And next time I'll have it here for you. It's just the first page, and that was in Thousand Oaks. Because that was at $23. I mean, that's how the paragraph. Something just crazy, you know. And then he goes on to go to Dallas and how he would come back to LA and hang out at the Comedy Store with Richard Pryor and the Pointer Sisters. And they would fucking freebase cocaine, and then he went nuts. But against the Dallas, against the Denver Broncos, the playoffs, right before he went to play the Broncos, he had Cameron Orange, and he fucking crushed him. He was a fuck you motherfuckers up. In the Super Bowl, he intercepted the ball and fucking scored a touchdown, so he was badass.
Yeah.
But he's snorting blow with 3 hands. This is the 70s. Nobody knows what to do with this fucking. The NFL's got him. The NBA. This guy, Marvin Bad News Bonds, they threw him out of the game once he came out with a 45, wanted to shoot the ref. You know, this is when it was still fucking crazy.
Back when sports were fun.
Fucking crazy. Yeah. This fucking nut is a great linebacker. You know, he's a great linebacker. His drug use is kind of coming out little by little. And then one day, when they had the old coach, Tom Landry, the real old.
Yeah, with the hat, sure.
They were losing on national TV, and this motherfucker got a towel from his Drew Pearson at a towel company, and he put the towel company in front of his dick. Like, it wasn't a sexual agent.
Yeah.
That's what you put your towel with your quarterback. Yeah. And he went like this with the towel, number one. The next day, Tom Landry fired him. Like, fired him. Knowing he was a coke fiend.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch the footage today, as they're going into the locker rooms after a game and people go, yeah, he's like yelling, party, where's the Colombians at and all this shit. This is nice. They're not ready for this shit. Guess who picks him up? Who do you think, what team picks him up?
I don't know.
Miami Dolphins.
Okay. There you go. Perfect.
He goes to Miami. I don't even know if he got to play. I don't fucking remember. But he's down there maybe a week. And Pat, like he got caught smoking pot. So now they can't find him. He's MIA, and they send the big guy from the Oakland Raiders, that cowboy, the guy that, bam.
Romanowski?
No, every year he has like his top dozen football players. Madden.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Madden. They sent Madden to interview him. And Madden's like, well, here's a disco in Miami in the afternoon. The fucking Hollywood's like, so what? I smoked a joint with the stewardess. And that was the end. That's it. Then he went off the deep end. But then he found Christ. And then he won the lottery in Texas with like $8 billion, like the lotto. And I don't know if he's back on that.
What a life.
Yeah.
Well, now, when did you get that poster, though?
A friend of mine named Barbara Linkus knew I was a fan.
Okay.
It was like his legendary.
Yeah.
And sent me his poster. I think he sent me a poster. He sent me 2 great books on him. You know, it was just fucking crazy.
7-Up didn't care that he was doing coke. They put it right.
No, they put it right there.
He's a spokesman.
That's why I just figured that it was a 7-Up poster. Like, I didn't even know.
How you doing?
Lane for
Fresh. I like that new concept you have. So you have this show. They don't bother you, so you'll never go back to network television.
I don't know. Man, it's gonna be tough. Yeah, this new one that they just let you do what you want, which is cool. So, but if it sucks, then it's all on you. But it's been a good ride with this one.
I did that work show about 2 years ago. Was only there for 2 days. Didn't bother me at all. I felt bad for the series regulars because it was CBS.
Yeah.
And they were getting fucking tortured.
Yeah, they'll have.
I was, and I mean, the director would tell. No, it was kissful. And I'm watching this going, why does this even have to happen for us to make $1 here? You know, it didn't. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck? And it was a popular show. can't not really don't matter. I mean, at the time, but it's so
It's hard, without having to be at war at the same time, and protecting stuff and what have you. But there's a lot of places now, I think, where they've been a little more hands off. You let you do your thing.
With you, they're very tough. I mean, nobody bothered me on that fucking set at all. Was high up.
Oh yeah, I bet he can do whatever he wants.
They don't even show up.
No, they don't show up.
Nobody shows up.
Yeah.
When you get into, and I'll say, I'm 55 years old. I think the worst I ever worked with, I shot 5 pilots.
Yeah.
They just, I couldn't. CBS has always been cool with me. NBC cool like a motherfucker,
Yeah. And everybody changes.
And ABC was cool. It's like Fox has always been the one that's always gotten on my nerve. Every time I do a show for Fox, there's a fucking Bible.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a trailer in a bathroom. There's always fucking something. I did the Met Sports show. There was always something, like there was always something with Fox that I didn't have with anybody else. They're the only. That's it. CBS has been cool, but you know when you get to the set, it's like when you do. Well, I did Spider-Man 2. You get people that open the door.
Yeah.
They pay them scale to open the fucking door, so nobody doing dicks for you.
They're like, Joey, we're also going to need you to open the door.
Yeah, you got to open the door. You got to put your own. Oh, did I tell you? Your own clothes, those. I've done $1,000 day movies where you're like, wow, I couldn't handle this.
Yeah, run the kookaroo for us. I mean,
Spider-Man, people would tell you, what's that chorus?
Yeah.
Good Friday, lobster tails on the grill. Come on. And all those little lobster tails. I had more lobster tails in the room than real lobster. I was fucking, you think I'm kidding you? They had a grill. They had a 20-foot grill with 4 guys cooking fucking lobsters on Fridays on Spider.
Yeah, it's a different world.
Now they had the gallons of $5 for a little for breakfast. I would pour soap where we shut this.
Yeah.
I put the whole gallon of palm in the fucking bag of the freezer. It's like a little hotel. And they like little bags. And they put us back there for the old folks. They were out of trailers. And I loved it. Had a TV in it, had a phone, make long distance calls. This is too good.
Hey, you're catching up.
Oh, I'm calling Europe. You know what I'm saying? I'm making calls, but every morning I get there. And I'm busy. I got so lazy on Spider-Man 2. I would just smoke dope. The wardrobe in there would hit the building and run out and make you smoke marijuana. I'm a Christian. This shit has to stop.
What the budget was for that?
The Spider-Man? Yeah. Like they were those movies like that. It made to make a ton of dough. The guy won an Academy Award for the set designer. He won the Academy Award for Star Wars. I mean, that movie was no shortage of dough.
Yeah.
The fan they had to keep you warm, because it was August when we shot that dog. They had a fucking fan that, I'm not kidding, it had to be.
When I want to feel
Okay, you know when he was on the train? Was stuck to the train?
Yeah.
That was a fan blowing out. This fan was like a fucking airplane engine. Hey, get out of the way. People would fucking kids would go flying and shit. It was just a couple. Like I had a taxi and a fan in the $100 movie store, peanut butter with like a fucking fork in it. And you're like, ooh, like this Spidey.
Yeah, there's like 3 half a donut.
Yeah, Spider-Man had walls of fruit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not kidding. Walls of fruit and fucking cold cuts. And never mind the longest show we were in Santa Fe. I understand that hired these women to just carry trays like this, like cigarette girls.
Yeah.
And they would have smoothies and protein shakes.
Like a cocktail party.
It was
walking around.
We had umbrella girls. They went to a strip club in Albuquerque and got umbrella girls. A yard and a half a day. so you wouldn't get a suntan. So you would look the way.
We were shooting Earl once on Woodley, and it was hot as hell. And we had a PA with an umbrella over Jamie Presley, and somebody, she's, you know, the PA's following her around a little bit, making sure she doesn't get all burned up. And somebody drives by and yells at us, yells something like, "Get the fuck out of the road" or something. And Presley starts chasing down this car, and she runs about 200 yards chasing the car, and the PA's run right next to her with the with the umbrella on. The funniest looking thing.
You know, the PA's like, "I'm gonna get a fired if she hits it."
Exactly. The sun hits her. I'm next. So he just kept right there with her, kept her in the shade the whole time.
How fucking crazy is our business?
So stupid.
Well, I worked in post, so I didn't really get a ton of it. But I had the guy who was the doctor in like Dr. Cox and Scrubs come in, and he probably didn't say anything. But my boss went around to everyone that day and said, "Don't look him in the eyes when he comes here." I'm serious. Like, don't look him in the eyes.
You ever had that?
No.
I had it.
Who'd you have?
2 sets with.
Okay.
The first set was in 2001 during when The Sopranos was first very hot. And I'll tell the story because he's a great guy. I think he was always cool with me. Politically incorrect. When you get on the set, they tell you, "Come here for a second." I laughed at him one day.
Wait, who was it?
Whatever his name is, Bill Maher.
Okay.
He'll try to fuck your wife right now.
Oh, yeah,
Bill Maher's a sack, but she don't
yeah.
give a fuck. Funniest thing I ever heard with Bill Maher was when the first movie and Doug Stanhope went to his birthday party.
Yeah.
Because he would hang at the Improv and stuff. So Doug Stanhope picked up some chick and fucked her on his bed at the party. He found out about it. So Bill Maher called his management and the Improv made Doug Stanhope write an apology letter.
He had to apologize.
Oh my God,
dear Mr. Moore, I'm sorry for fucking liquor.
The first time I saw Doug Stanhope was it was a long time ago, and it was for a showcase, for a network showcase, and I was like a staff writer on a show, and somebody said, "Hey, do you want to go to this thing?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll go to it." And everybody was getting up there. So this must have been like 96, 7, something around there. Yeah, 8 maybe. And he gets up, and everybody's just trying to be on their P's and Q's. It's all the networks are there, whatever. He got up there and just didn't give a shit and just went nuts and was hysterical. Everybody was looking at each other going, "This is the funniest guy." Nobody knew what they would do with him, so that was that. Good Lord, was he fun.
Yeah, speaking of funny, you see our boy made a fucking cover of Rolling Stone. Who?
That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, good for him.
Yeah, he hasn't answered the phone in days.
That's hilarious.
Once you hit the cover, fucking
I gotta see it. I gotta see that.
Just made up a fake cover. How is that high?
Well, what's the chance of that? About 95%? Let's see. I mean, I hope he did. I hope he did.
He's a guy that can sell his albums that came out. Yeah,
you opened for him. That was a crazy night.
That was crazy.
I was standing Ron Jeremy the whole time.
I think Wheeler deserves it, but I think you might have had a 170 else.
You think so? Yeah, I think somebody put out like a fake cover or something. I get high.
Hey, I understand. It's understandable.
Sometimes I go home at night. I'm lonely. Those fucking two broads go to bed at 9:30. You know what happens every night?
It's circus time.
It's either smoke dope or eat myself. You know what I'm saying? I found a bag have expired edibles. 2 years old. They were so fucking strong and so good. Now, what the Weight Watchers I gave 4 pounds. Like the lady said, what happened to you? You were doing so great.
Do they give you points for the edibles? Do they tell you? The star is at 60 points.
60 calories is 1 point.
Okay.
So I always, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I go put down on the chart edibles. Weight Watchers with Chiba Chew. Let's try it. Let's see. Let's just see.
Maybe, you know.
One of these days, I'm sure we'll be.
Surprised, yeah, they might have got with this program.
Let's see. Chiba Chew.
This would really help the United States by tightening things up with Australia.
No.
7 points, crab, pizza, cheese, and macaroni. Fuck that.
That's because it knows that's what you're going to eat after you eat the Chiba Chew.
Yeah. No. There's 60. The point, the stars are decking also. They're ducks.
Okay. What, they just stopped making them?
The company. Cut them down to 100.
Oh, okay.
She wanted to give me something the other day. She wanted to give me something the other day that I think I put me through a lot the last 6 years. I love him very much, and he's my little brother. And I torment him. I gave him heroin.
You didn't give me heroin.
Yes, I did. I always tell him don't go for stuff because you never know what's in. They gave me a bottle of THC liquid that was 1,000 milligrams of cocaine. Before you take them to the syringe. When I saw the syringe, I
just chase him around.
I think he won't come back from this. Like he'll never come back from me coming here with a bottle.
You're not going to syringe me. What are you going to be a nurse?
He would definitely go into the therapist and tell her on Friday.
Joey can give you a shot. He doesn't even.
No, this wasn't even a needle in it. This is just the thing that you.
Oh, just to take the water. Oh, yeah, it was
like, it was very white. It was for white people. Gotcha. You know, like now we have a spray. The spray that you get 1,000 milligrams. 20 fucking milligrams of spray.
That's insane.
But they cut it down because as of July 1st, the law changed. Again? So there's no edibles over 100 no more. So those Chiba Chews are the last. Now I gotta eat 10 of those to get high. I don't want to do it. Try the dropper. I'm bringing the dropper because I don't think if it gave.
I was gonna say, it was scared Joey.
I don't think. And the next day, it'd be like Marlon Brando and Apocalypse Now. The leather he was. Wife sell the house, sell the dog. I'm never coming back.
You might be right. If it scares you,
he's not enough of this life.
Make a clip of this.
This is funny because nobody anymore, like he knew about it. And I was very surprised. We were talking about nodders. I grew up in a generation of nodders. The light. New York. You press the light until you were 14. There was a time the light didn't tell you that. You just, it just went to yellow and then fucking red. Yeah. But junkies would be at the light, waiting across the street, and they would nod at the light. And then they would like, I grew up in a generation of nodders. And I was telling them that one time a guy nodded, we got this Jersey High School, we got a bus. With nodders that took the bus. Like if you took methadone, they give you like a free bus pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, like last week you gave blood, and they gave you a $5 to get the cookie and the soda. They gave you $5. It's the same thing. When you look at the methadone, if you went down there, they give you like a bus pass and something else. And this guy was on methadone, sitting on the bus already gone. And he had a newspaper open. It was open. And he was drooling. And the drool was connected from his lip to the paper. Greg Garcia, and there was just a big circle. This motherfucker was hitting, you know,
yeah. His head's bopping all around.
He wouldn't wake up. And look, in those days, we shoot spitballs at me. Like, if we got on that bus and we were on heroin, we were tormented. Me and my boy were tormented.
These are the last 5 minutes of happiness.
Like, we start throwing spitballs at you. Shit. I got this. And I blew a fart. I go, yoo-hoo. Because in those days, I used to always have a buttered roll and a yoo-hoo for breakfast. And I go, it's a buttered roll and a yoo-hoo.
Just bread and yoo-hoo.
I'll never forget that blew a fart. I just did great. Like this one.
Does his own.
I was like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
They got that shot like Pulp Fiction that they give to people when they're too high on heroin. When they're going, if they run out of that shot, you could probably bottle your farts. Bottle your farts. Get it to the paramedics. Because the whole smelling salt industry is exactly.
It's so fucking funny. I have a friend who was a junkie. We still talk every day. He's my brother. He's my brother. I've known him. He was my roommate. He was on heroin. I was just starting comedy in New York. Tom was every Thursday. He went to the park. He traded for heroin, you know.
He wasn't trading for cash. He was just directly for heroin.
Directly for heroin. And they'd give him a bus pass. But I wait till you get on that one. I clip the bus pass every time. My friends get the 6 o'clock bus because he would let me on for free. Now I could sleep late. So I would clip his bus pass. And I remember he'd get high on heroin. He looked at me and goes, I know you still got bus pass and shit. I used to call him the pincushion at the time. He was my roommate. And he picked up that $140. And he'd get like a gram of coke and whatever. He would yell atrocities at me. He'd call me a loser and tell me I'd never be a comic. And I loved him. I knew what he was going through. So from time to time, I'd give him $10 and tell him to go for the drink and start fucking blasting. And I mean, when we went to that cop kill from him missing the van, like, and he would have to spend his whole every fucking weekend. So me and my buddies used to call him the pincushion. We'd see walking back over the bridge and beep and get in the car. He knows when people are lying. Like as soon as Prince is plane pulled over, he called me. Prince got about a week left. I swear to my mother's grave. Really? Yeah, he sees it. Like one time we went to do the Artie Lang show, and when we left, he goes, I don't know who the fuck he's kidding. He's high already. Yeah, he tells. So it was funny. Yesterday, he calls me out of the blue.
In consecutive Olympics,
Mercy, my daughter watched the news.
20 years ago.
Like, what's up, George? He goes,
these
look at these fucking idiots. Demi Lovato is going through a rough time at the hospital. She OD'd on the 24th. She's not going through a rough time. She's dope sick, you dumb motherfuckers. Like he's arguing with the fucking newspaper.
Yeah.
Like he just picks up shit. He'll tell him. But man, he always picks shots like that.
It didn't happen.
Like, how do you know? I can smell it. I still smell that shit.
But Bobby Fink
He's like an airport dog.
Oh my God, he's amazing. He'll tell the people.
Still to come.
But I can't tell if somebody's doing like a pedal or something like that.
Yeah.
Won gold for the Philippines yesterday on floor, and today he's
we're a weird town like Coke. I was blown away when I moved here how much Coke was in there. Like I'm sure there was somewhere in Boston, but I didn't hang around with those people. And everyone does Coke.
Where did you see cocaine?
The first party I went to here was someone I worked with.
She is my sister.
It's crazy.
And it wasn't on a table. It wasn't anything like the Hollywood parties that you hear about. It was just that they were taking key bumps, is what they called. They had like
Right in front of you?
They went into another room, but they said that what they were going to do. And it's they apparently haven't done. But they talked very openly. But now I know that's a huge thing across America.
Because they're communities. Drugs are a community. Okay, like I'd sit here for years and tell you I was a junkie for 26 27 years. I think in 27 years, 3 people approached me for heroin, and maybe 2 people approached me for that.
Yeah.
Next time you talk to Josh, tell him to tell him about the heroin lesbians.
Okay.
They were fucking invented something.
Yeah.
So they got checks.
Have my big deal meal. And go see Marvel Studios Deadpool.
At that time, we lived in the building. I slept on Josh's couch. He had like 9 kids.
Yeah.
Fucking wife.
You were babysitting.
Brother. And then it was crazy. He had a job and he sold weed. And there was a Mexican guy on the 3rd floor that sold coke. And there was a publicist. And there was a chick that had the best tits you ever seen in your life, but she had no chin. But she still, but there was these phenomenal, you know, fill up. You don't swear. I mean, then I got to meet them. And when they were telling me they always wore sunglasses, they didn't work, and they would just shoot heroin. But they were not a little bit, they were both skinny, they were puking.
Yeah.
Well, and that's when I learned that this community, like, they had 30 friends that would come over, they were all on heroin.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
They
they
stuck to their own.
So you know who does meth? No. Okay, they sell 29,000 kilos of meth a year. Somebody's got to be fucking doing it.
Yeah.
I don't do it.
I'm not running in a meth crowd. I don't.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, who runs in these crowds? So that's why little like pills community.
Yeah.
I know a couple people. I have 2 friends that do massive amounts of blow, and they eat massive amounts of pills. Every once in a while, the guy calls me and goes, "Joe, you're a time. You know anybody?" I know a few people. I'll get them 100 of this or 100 of that, but the community and the price is like absurd.
Yeah.
They'll go higher. So if you're
Like
watching, you're
absurd.
wondering
Like
who's
I get
better than the other. It's
60
almost a
fucking
stick
Xanaxes. What do you call those anxiety 1.2 pills? They last me a year. I think I get them for fucking $14.
Yeah.
You know what my buddies pay for pills?
It was
Like $13 a fucking pill.
That's crazy. It's a big business.
What are those that thing that fucking dude was eating that we were talking about, the Rush Limbaugh?
Oh, Oxycontin.
Those things are $50 a piece, I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never knew. I knew one person who did Oxycontin in my
You
life.
can't get off that shit either.
Yeah, that's great. It's scary, but do you agree? Do you think that Coke is maybe a bigger circle out here? Like I think there's, you walked outside, if you talk to people about Coke, when I was growing up, it was, you do Coke, and now it's like, oh, yeah, it's fun.
You watch an Arco?
Yeah,
love you watching it.
Yeah.
You see the part when he thought he was going to get fired, and then he quit. When the guy called him back, he goes, "We'll make this bullshit and go away." They said something. They moved 370 metric tons of cocaine. A ton is 2,000. Fuck. The United States alone in the early 80s was doing 400 tons a year of cocaine.
Good job for the judges. Fantastic job
Good
for
Lord.
Mr. Hepworth.
Somebody was doing it, but it was fucking doing it.
Where'd you grow up? In?
Right outside of Boston.
Okay.
I'm sure they had it, but I was a dork, and I saw weed and stuff. I even talking to people, like I would hear people were doing heroin or
exposed to it.
No, you'd see 3 times, random. They did it in my beer. Slipped it right in the beer.
Has a maximum starting
Yeah.
score.
What'd you think?
No, it was the second day. First day we were all drinking in the dorm, and we were drinking vodka. And the second night we were drinking, and these guys came down, and they the night before saw a Grateful Dead poster on my dorm room, and they're like, "Hey man, want to take some acid with us tomorrow?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good, man. I'm just gonna drink." He said, "Oh, you sure?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. So then they called me down to the room, me and this other guy, and they're like, "Come on down, we're gonna drink some beers." And they gave me a beer. Miller Genuine Draft, I think it was. And the top wasn't on it, but I wasn't thinking anything. I'm like, "Here you go, let's have some beers." So I drank. And then I started feeling like something's a little wrong here, you know? something's going on. And then I chugged the beer
with 2.5
because we were playing some drink. Threw up, and there was a little bit of blood.
Excuse me, Dragon,
and I was
let's
like,
go.
"What is this?" You know, I got a little nervous.
Sorry about that.
And I decided I'm gonna go to the doctor. And these guys drove me there. And then it wasn't until I got back because the doctor was like, "What did you do?" And I go, "I don't know. I drank a lot of vodka yesterday." He goes, "I will take these pills. Somebody told me, hey, those dudes put acid in your beer." And then I just was up all night and, just finally fell asleep at about 6 a.m. Woke up around 10 a.m., went down to grab the empty bottle of vodka from 2 nights before. The door, I said, "Did you fucking put acid in my beer?" He goes, "Yeah, man. You thought it was cool. You thought you'd be..." And 8 stitches in his chin, blood stuffing out of his, and they're all. And then they came back to school, and I was pissed off at them, obviously, because turning themselves in because they thought I was. The ending of this was, I decided, I'm gonna sue these dudes because they're being assholes and they're flaunting it a little bit. I'm still pissed off that they did it, and I'm 18 years old, and I'm thinking, I wouldn't do that today, but I'm like, I'm 18, I'm gonna do this. I sue them. I end up suing them for $6 million. Right now, these guys don't have. I hit them with a lawsuit for $6 million. They don't have any money. And my lawyer is my soccer coach when I was a little kid, right? So we're talking about we're going to go to court with them and everything. This was all happening over the summer, and a day before court, my soccer coach pulled me and he goes, "Listen, man, they've made an offer." I'm thinking, all right, cool. What's this? He said they've heard. I go, "But you were suing for $6 million, but they don't have it. And if you get up on that stand, you got to sit there in front of everybody. And you got to talk about every single thing you've ever done. They're going to grill you. Your parents are going to hear anything you've done, or your perjury." I said, "Take the $7,000.
It's fucking crazy how you."
Everyone around
you. An attorney could make you become like a fucking drink.
No journey is taken alone.
Yes, we've been blood from a stone. These they didn't have anything.
When I robbed that jewelry store, I was 18. It was the same thing. The guy made it. Smart move. When I disappeared, the cops were looking for me. The guy was a little connected. So listen, you're arrested. I go in front of a judge and go, "By the time you get your money back." So he paid the cops to do it the other way. And he got the insurance in 30 days.
There you go.
Because if you get arrested, then you got to get restitution.
Yeah, I don't want to chase these guys down the rest of it. The funny, one other thing was they said when we hit them with the lawsuit, they said to my lawyer, they said, "Hey, we're going to countersue you because your client, hit our client in the court." Quickly said, "Well, yeah, my client was on acid. I mean, he's not responsible for whatever the fuck he did."
But thinking soccer teacher.
Yeah, exactly. He was a good soccer coach and a good lawyer. So yeah, that all
was telling Lee that. It's like relation. I have a 27-year-old who talked to it. A couple of weeks ago, I wrote a letter. I was like, I wrote all the things how I fucked done. And there's times today I go, someday she's gonna raise her hand, expose herself to even worse. It's even worse for her. She's a pillar in our community. All I gotta do is open one thing. She's probably very concerned about what people think. Baby's name, because like she's part of that community in Boulder, that they're very avant-garde. And she didn't want the kid to have a Spanish last name.
Now, you wrote the letter. Did you send it?
No, I wrote it on Friday.
No, why not send it?
Looking at
Whatever
the
we
first
learned
hand
for
in
yourself.
any sport.
Yeah, you know, for a long time I had anger.
At the Olympics.
I had this anger at it. I'm like, listen,
Yulo.
let's say it was 1995. Was I really ready to be a parent in 95? I don't think so. Not that I was a bad person.
Yeah.
Looking at the
I
board
just
right
wasn't
now,
ready.
he's going to
How
try
old were you?
a more difficult ball.
32.
16-0 start.
I was 32 going on 60. I was mentally fucking, you know, between the drugs and the deaths and the fucking damage I had been through, I was done, you know. I said a lot of things and I made a lot of actions, but I'm not stupid either. You know, this is one of those situations where you did this and I did this. She could never write. She could write a book about 85 to when she saw in those 6 years, it would fucking destroy people.
Oh my gosh,
It would destroy people. She was right there with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she would make me take piss tests to marijuana, but she would break into my house and steal weed. She's one of those type of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you never win with those types. Like I would say, I would get to my house and I could see the trail of weed because I always have
the crisper.
The crisper.
Yeah, you
you
get
take
the
your
crisp
weed
in there.
there. And then when I was dealing power, she would go in and take weed. Then go to the probation department. They would test me for marijuana. So that's the playing field she was at.
Yeah.
So when she went to that playing
He got
field,
over $200,000.
I took it to the playing field that I grew up with.
Two-bedroom condo.
The fucking seek and destroy, you know. And I was telling Lee that when I did speak a couple of years ago, I apologized to her because we went to court one last time for contempt. And we went up in front of the judge that sentenced me. And by this time, I had this judge in my pocket. I was letters every month. I'm trying. Go back to school. I got my GED. I'm turning into a comedian. I'm trying. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for sending me to prison. I mean, I had this guy.
Yeah.
I had him just in case something happened again. He had documentation.
Yeah.
Walking the civil way out. But I don't know. They told me if you don't show up with the kid again, it's contempt of court. We're going to lock you up and have a sheriff. And I remember walking out of there, and that 200-yard walk was the worst walk of her life.
Sometimes it's a tough one to land, though.
Like Greg Garcia, I said things that a human being doesn't say. You know, I went way below the belt in front of her husband. Like, did you tell him I put the carrots? He put that arrested me. Against me. Like, he was, oh, he's still involved in drugs. And he's telling me to shut up. I'm like, you shut the fuck up, bitch. You can't arrest me. I'm just talking out here. This has nothing to do with you. And her face is red. And then when they walked out, they were a husband couple team. I said so many things to her. Like I stuck it up her ass with the carrot. I call her Kathy Carrots.
How long did this court stuff go on for? I mean, it's so toxic.
It went on from 91 to 95. It ruined me, Greg Garcia.
Wow.
It ruined me financially. It ruined me because we were friends. We were friends. This didn't have to happen this way. But I knew after the third month of our separation that I was going to have a hard time with that kid. Something was going to go down with this kid. That was her weapon.
Yeah.
To show me, you know, that was her weapon to show me that she was the boss. So it was weird when I got in that car, June or July 1st, 1995, and I went bold. I knew that my life was going to change. I was never going to be, if I was never going to get invited to a first communion or I knew it.
Yeah,
you know it was done. And then I would come home and book the Top and Bell commercial. I would make a lot of money and I would go home to meet her. At that time, since I had left the state, I really had lost my rights to see her. So I would call her and say, let me meet with her on Wednesday. And she would go, okay, then she'd call me back. Oh, she's too busy with Girl Scouts.
Yeah, nicely done.
She can't come see you. So that's how it. She took her out of the country
playing games.
London for a few years. It was rough.
But now you get to do it all.
15 for that. That's a
Well,
good number.
well,
That's a great number.
now I got a second chance.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm to the book. To the book. Like I told you, you got 5 lines. Cat's got 9 lines. And before I was a volunteer fireman for a while.
Qualify. for the Olympics.
I was telling Lee the other night about the 90s. You know, like, that the success I had playing comedy is because of the work I put in the 90s.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that.
Sleeping on buses, trains.
You get to do it all again, and there's nobody that isn't going to be a better parent in their late 40s and 50s than they would have been in their 20s and 30s. I had kids in my 20s and 30s, and I know I'm a better parent now for the youngest. We're young too.
How old is your oldest?
20.
And what's your relationship?
It's great. I would say that's the roughest relationship as he was growing up, because he, you know, bullheaded than the other ones, I guess. And then I was also working a ton. You know, I would work on My Name is Earl. I'd work 14 hours a day on the weekends, because when I left in the morning, they were asleep, and when I got home at night, you know, now, you know, they all turned out great. My kids all turned out great, so I'm not going to say like, oh, I wish I would have done that. It's a balance, and I think, you know, a lot of people, you know, in the 20s and 30s, you know, it's a balance of just like, you know, you got to provide for these people, and at the same time, you want to be there, you know. So I tried very hard on weekends to be there, you know, and not work on the weekends. And then when I did have time off, you know, you get stretches at times off, you know, in TV during the hiatuses, and I make sure I was around for that. But I know for a fact, you know, I'm definitely better. I have more time now too, but you mature, you know, you're less selfish, you know, everything as you get older.
I was not ready for anything. Like, I was not ready for my marriage. You know, I told Lee that I failed at marriage. Who fails at marriage? It's the simplest thing in the world. You fuck and you talk. Right or wrong.
That's pretty much it.
I mean, you fuck and you talk and you communicate. When I failed at divorce, I don't know if it was my Catholicism or me being me, it really got to me that I had failed at something so simple with a human being. That's it. Hey, listen, you fail at fucking rock climbing. That's one thing.
Yeah.
You come and you take a bronze in skiing in the Olympics. That's another thing. Us failing as human beings, that's absurd to me.
Yeah, but you also have the added, you know, stuff of, you're talking about having to deal with another person. You know, I mean, you're rock climbing, there's just a rock. You know, you gotta to fail at a marriage. You know, it is a two-way street. I mean, you know, there's a lot going on there. I wouldn't beat yourself up too much about that.
No, there is, Greg, because no matter what happens, drop the arguing or whatever, there's got to be a point before you
That's why 76 is there.
Go to the court. But I could turn at you and go, Greg, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
7 years here. 3, we dated before that. That's 10. We need this.
Yeah, you think you'd be able to figure it out then.
Really, Greg?
Yeah.
You need all this? What the fuck? You dropped $500,000 and you didn't have. I dropped $200,000 that I didn't have, plus another 100 in credit cards that I didn't have. For what? What did we both fucking? We lost $8,000. We're not friends no more. She doesn't have a dad. She has a stepdad who did a great job. I can't take nothing away from him. But that always comes back to virtue years.
Yeah, but everybody wants
to as I can. Ready? She got a life, and I got a life. I got to become my comic, and she got to get away from me and raise her daughter the way she wanted. It's just like man, I'm wife for a while.
Yeah,
that's it. As I sit back, oh Jesus Christ, you know, she was dead and all that. And tell 3 hours. I got,
and you got more places to tell them. So.
Oh yeah, and I've told half of it. I got a forgery story. That shit don't go.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I got a forgery story that I can get fathers behind me as support. You know what I'm saying? Like fathers groups. There's fathers groups that I just had too much pride to contact them at one point. You contact them and their groups and they tell you, these are all, I have a friend. I can't say I grew up with another guy. I know from the 5th grade. He married a chick that her father had so much money. They just yanked the kid.
off of the table so high.
Like, the wife changed her name.
Look at
The
the
kid changed her
going
name.
up,
He hasn't
beautiful
seen his
form.
kids
Still going
since
up,
she was
folks.
3.
Three
Just
times
vanished.
around, and look
Vanished.
at those eyes.
Went to court, beat him in
Gazing at
court
the
for
floor and
sole
just
custody.
slightly
He got visitation.
slightly
She turned it
over-rotating.
around.
Most guys would be
She
thrilled to
turned the
walk
rehab
off the
stint
podium
around
after
for
trying
pain
that vault.
medication.
He's mad.
He had
I think,
broken
Jim, he
like a
didn't
leg,
stick. Yeah, no,
got hooked on pain medication like in 2001, and she turned it into this fucking. And I know this guy. This guy's had the same job all his life. He's one of those duddy dudes. I just grew up with him. He's never no contact, no nothing.
1.5 to 2/10 high.
I agree.
Yeah, I definitely, if I would have married any number of girls that I dated instead of my wife, I don't think, it wouldn't have lasted. There's luck there too. Finding the right person. But growing up, there wasn't a lot of divorce growing up where
No.
and then I moved out here. I moved to my neighborhood probably 16 years ago, and I met like 10 to 12. 11 of them divorced at this point. And it's crazy.
Crazy to me.
And I said to my mother, I was saying that to her, and I was like, yeah, 11. She goes, that's because they have money. And I said, I don't know about that. People, get divorced. She goes, no, because they can afford it. She goes, you think I would have stayed with your father if we could have afforded 2 houses? She goes, you think for a second if I thought I could get my own house, I would have been. And I thought, yeah, all right, I can see that. But it also reminds me of something that somebody said once. They asked this old couple, they said, how did you stay married? What was your secret? How did you stay married for 50 years? He said, well, we didn't get divorced.
Wishing he did not take
That's
that
pretty much it. We kept fighting, but we just stayed.
Olympic rings tattoo.
I mean, I had
already
good
got
bad days with my
bronze
wife.
medal
Yeah.
from Tokyo.
But I couldn't imagine a life without my wife.
Wait.
Oh, no, absolutely. No, absolutely.
Especially a guy like you that worked 14-hour days. She covered the spread.
Oh, shit.
Both wives are like,
oh, no. I couldn't have done any of that.
Fuck you.
She ended up, she's got to carry the load for all that stuff. And I think you're also in the thick of it with a kindergarten. I mean, the most we ever fought was when the kids were little. When we're stressing about the kid and we're arguing over what's the best way to deal with the kid and whatever. And then I noticed as the kids got older and we stayed married longer, you kind of mellow out with that stuff. And it gets to the point now where, like, if somebody raises their voice or starts to get mad, it's almost like the other person's like, oh shit, this is that important to you? No, that's good. You got it. Your way. We don't need to fight.
I grew up in a house, bro, where there was yelling and screaming, and it drove me crazy. I hate walking into a house where there's yelling.
Yeah.
Reminds me of my house, bro. I hate that shit. So I always swore, thinking over the years that I don't like driving my house. Like, I don't even want to see a fucking bimbo in my house. Like, I like coasting.
Yeah.
Those fucking assholes. I always think that your house should be your sanctuary. Like, I go home for peace. Like, when I was married, the year before I got separated, I would go home to hate myself. Like, it was a home without a heart. Have you ever lived in a home without a heart?
I have been lucky not to, but I can imagine.
It sucks. I lived in 2 homes without a heart. Before my mother died, the home didn't have a heart. She was like 2 people lived together.
Yeah.
And when I got sick, she became mom again, but it was too late. She died 2 months later. And then when I got married, I lived in a home. The last year was a fucking horror show. I basically went home at 6, ate dinner, kissed the baby, and I was a doorman at a comedy club. But it was like I didn't want to be home. That's a horrible.
Yeah. No, that's rough.
Child, don't want to be home.
And I've worked with guys that don't want to come home. And it's just like,
it kills me.
Yeah.
Those guys, those type of people fucking kill.
Yeah, so they're either in charge and they're keeping everybody there because they don't want to go home, or you see them just staying after it's over and like they're just staying in their office. And I don't get that, man. That's rough. That is rough.
I can't imagine. I've had 50,000 arguments with agents over the years about the shit that we do and how it works for me and what doesn't work for me. The every other week works for me. And time off, like in June, December, works for me. These guys that go out a lot with kids, I don't see it.
Yeah.
You have to be home.
Yeah.
You have to be home. I love doing stand-up and making money. We all do.
Especially you got because they got to go on the weekends, and that's when the kids are home. I mean, there's one thing if they can get out during the week or something. They got the games, they got whatever else. Other thing I do is I don't talk about. I never bring any work home with me either. I think that's a key sometimes too.
Do they ask you like, Dad, was it cool working with this guy? Dad, how was it working with this chick? That's not what your house is about.
No. I mean, once in a blue moon. I mean, my oldest son, he's interested in entertainment business, so he'll ask more questions. But like, I won't come home and talk about work at all. Like, we've just finished shooting the season 2 of the guest book. My wife doesn't know what it's about, nothing. And she'll sit down and watch them all. And that'll be great because I'll have a fresh audience. But there's other stuff going on. They don't need to hear about it, nor do they don't really care too much.
Now, what's your typical year look like?
Because with this new show, we do 10 episodes at a time. I write all 10 of them myself. So I just take my time to get those done. And then we shoot them for 10 weeks, and then we edit them for, about 2 months. It takes.
So how long does it take you to write the 10 episodes?
Usually, it depends on the episode, but usually what I'll do is I'll have a pretty good idea. I'll let something just like kind of marinate in my mind a little bit. I'll be thinking about it. I'm not even writing stuff down, but I'm just thinking about it for a while. Then I'll sit down. I can usually write a script in a day. I sit down at 6:30 in the morning, and I don't get up out of that chair except to go grab something to eat. Sometimes my wife comes in back of the house and says, walk around a little bit. I won't get there until 4 in the morning. And just write. And I'll just force myself to just keep going and going and going and going. And by the end of it, I got a first draft and play with it a little bit. But it's that one day when I decide I'm going to write, I just write it on the calendar, and that's it. I just sit there, and I just refuse to get up until it's done.
Racing for gold tonight in the 100
I can do 2 hours of the show.
But first,
yeah,
because of my back.
Yeah,
and that's not bueno either for me. Because I'll lose my fucking mind.
Yeah, and you're not really on you're not on a deadline necessarily, right? I mean, because you're writing, you're collecting all your stuff, but is somebody saying to you, we got to get it by here, we got to have it then?
That would kill me.
Yeah,
that would kill me because I'm not confident in my writing. So when I wake up the next day and I look at it, it's this shit. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah,
so one paragraph always goes. So I'm basically writing a little every day, but I'm also cleaning up yesterday's garbage.
Yeah. Well, you got to just write down whatever and don't worry about it and just get through it and then go back.
I write 4 different things at once. When I wake up in the morning, I have a notebook. I put my feelings in. I feel like shit. This is what's going on. I can't believe I did this. Never eat those edibles again. Just spill whatever's on my mind.
Yeah.
And then I have a notebook that I write to my daughter every couple of days. So what's going on in my life? So if I die, I want to know what the fuck I was thinking at that time period. That's very important for children, so there's never any doubts. When my mother died, I left out a lot of doubts in my life. Oh, my daughter have doubts. Listen, and I'll wrap up rubber bands, leave it in a fucking safety deposit box or something.
Yeah.
No, the iPad, I have jokes now. I really like the iPad that my wife got me. There's writing up on there. And I have jokes in there. I have the book. And I just have individual stuff.
Yeah.
Like this one I'm writing is about martial arts in America today. When I joined martial arts, it was a black dude that walked around with a Shinsu wooden sword. And if you giggle and shit, he hit you with the fucking sword. You had to do push-ups and you bring your karate teacher your report card. If you didn't get good grades, you weren't allowed to go in and do jumping jacks and sit-ups. But you weren't allowed to learn. He would make you sit there and do fucking homework with your uniform. Like a fucking dud, you can't do that today. I take my daughter to martial arts and I had to tell the teacher, tell her to fucking knock it off. Tell her to stop doing somersaults. Tell her to stand in attention. Don't be scared. Yell at my fucking kid.
Yeah. That's why we're here.
Yeah, that's why we're here, for discipline. Yell at them.
Yeah.
When you do that. I got a little pissed last week. For the first time, I gotta be honest with you guys. She came home with a medal. I go, what the fuck is the medal? She told me that there was a race, but she raced herself, so they gave her a fucking medal. So yesterday at karate, she couldn't do the punch combinations. She started crying.
Drivers.
When we get home, she'd always get out of the car and she wanted to teach how to fucking lose some kind of shit. It's not all win. I play a card game with her, she's fucking good at it. She beats me every time. I gotta cheat to beat her. I actually have to cheat to beat her. And she gets pissed. I beat her. I gotta show her. Yeah, well, you have to show you.
They gotta lose to get that to get that feeling in their stomach, so they want to win the next time. You know.
So, I was taking to jiu-jitsu, but there was one guy, and there was no other kids, and she was great stuff. I wanted to see what her reaction would be to kids her age. You know, if I hire you to come over and beat Lee, I mean, you don't let Lee choke you and shit, because the day you bitch slap Lee, he's gonna come tell me bitch slap him. That's the only thing I do today.
Yeah.
No, I'll give you a punch in the fucking stomach. That's the school I come from. I want to see him in his worst. So when life fucking really, you know, when I went to karate, one day they kicked me in the stomach so hard that they knocked the air out of me. When you're a kid, you oxygen knocked out of you.
You think you're dying.
I remember telling my mom, I'm not going back, and my mom goes, listen, you need to get back in there right now. I'll put you in the stomach 50 fucking times. If you don't get oxygen in that fucking stomach, in society, your parents aren't allowed to do that. Don't go to college.
Yeah.
Parents see you do that.
Yeah. Yeah, my buddy was telling me a story about, said, oh, buddy, and just they went nuts on me. Don't you touch my kid, blah, 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 blah. My kid's fine. But, you know, don't. And just, you know, just.
My generation. About 3 years ago, she went out of the notes or something. Did I ever tell you about that? I told you. And then you go run over with your kid and they steal your kid. And I told my wife, don't you ever run, turn your back on that. My wife knows the rule now.
Yeah.
Don't ever turn your back on Mercy. Listen, I don't give a fuck. I'm not here to say, I love you and respect you. I make the cash in this house. Put that fucking phone on. Watch your kid. Don't turn into the Studio City parents. I've seen shit vicinity here.
Yeah.
I'll make you fuck. Kurt. I've seen people bring their kids to swim class that are allowed, you know, like mommy and me, and they put the nanny in the pool with their kid.
Yeah, nanny.
While they sit there and fucking text and do whatever the fuck they grow up to. What are his chances?
Yeah.
So with me, I'm old school. You know what? Man, I did some bad things growing up. What was instilled in me by my mother, and all those lessons I remember, though.
Oh, sure.
I remember my mother going, "If you don't get back in that karate school, it's not going to be good for you in the college.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long night for you in the college. I'm going to beat you to the fucking ground."
I used to get spanked all the time. I would get hit with this metal ruler, and there was no doubt that I deserved every single one I got, and it made me think twice about doing some other stupid shit.
Crazy.
It's the way to go.
But I kind of got pissed at that. Like this Friday, they're doing two buddies that get married.
Yeah.
At the camp, I gotta go. These two buddies get married. You know, all that shit's cute. I like it. But there's a lot of shit that's going on playing the kid world. You're not doing nothing good for this kid. You're not doing any fucking favors.
No, I trust me, especially my younger one. I think, what the fuck, man? How are you gonna get talked to like that? It's like kids just say no, ain't doing it. No, it's like what?
That freaked me out as a kid. But when I saw kids talk back to their parents and like yell at their parents,
oh shit! I almost died.
Yeah.
First time I saw like
We'll see today.
I saw shit and I was like, ooh, that's fucking stitches in my house. That's automatic fucking stitches. They're talking back.
Yeah.
My mom used to give me this backhand.
Slip is full of confidence. The NCAA champion.
Stop, I walk out. Just a backhand. Yeah. If I said something wrong sometimes, it was like effortless. You just give me my lip would bleed and shit a little bit. I got it. You know, my mom, the Cuban doctor we had in the days, the Cubans, there's no reason for me to come back. Here's a syringe and here's some penicillin. If you get sick, just give him a shot yourself.
Yeah.
Bro, my mom was shot. Oh, come here. And she would get me like, what's the headlock? Yeah, because I would go, it's going to hurt, it's going to hurt. She would get me in a guillotine and fucking stab me with the needle. And I toughen up so I'd have a bruise halfway down. You know how many blood clots I had? All these people that died from blood clots. Don't fuck yourself. I had so many blood clots. There was a time she gave me, I couldn't walk for 4 fucking days because I would fight her. I would fight them. I had this doctor called Orlando Dozaya. That was a coach. So he would come over to the house, he'd take my temperature, he'd throw some drugs because he wanted to have a couple drinks. Yeah. A couple bumps of coke and shit. Then he'd come back in and he'd give me a shot. I didn't know he was a cokehead until I got older, years later. He'd come and join. Oh, cool, bro, give me a shot. And then after my mother died, he was my family doctor. I went to him for years. Yeah. So I got a deal with him. I would give him more every week and we gave him prescriptions for steroids for my friends. So all my friends was a discotheque. He came up. I'm like 19. He's like 50. He's like, Jose Antonio, get in my house.
We've only seen one
semifinal. Yeah. He just walked away from me. And that's it. And about 2 years ago, I heard he's still alive in Miami. They stripped his license.
Yeah.
Because during the 80s, they stole all his prescriptions the whole time.
He does all that shit and the kids screw him over.
The kids screwed him over, dog. There was a time in this country that you didn't go to school. You had to get a charge of license.
Yeah.
You know that? No. You just go to you could stay out of school for a week. Give them the wrong number and then just go to a doctor and say, doctor, I need a doctor. Well, what's wrong with you? We're 24 hours. And they give you 20, they give you a doctor's bill, you go to school, give you a doctor's bill and tell them, you can't do that no more.
$25.
You sell drugs and you steal from your dad. Somebody's got some weight room.
So I'm looking a lot more. I've taken very small steps to make sure that my
October. You just editing.
Just editing, and then this show should come on in October, and I figured actually, just thinking about some ideas and
small steps is
that's I'm gonna chill out a little bit.
I did not know about the Jimmy Buffett thing.
Oh yeah, closed in about 4 months. It did not do as good as they expected, but it's going to go on a national tour in 2019, and they think that's where they're really going to get the audiences. The New York audiences, the theater critics, they were not ready for a Jimmy Buffett musical, and you really need those really good reviews to get people to come and Broadway.
Did Jimmy Buffett ever show up?
Yeah. He would come. He would come on special occasions and play at the end of the show and stuff, and he was great. He was a cool guy. I loved working with him and everything. Ended up hanging out with him down in the Keys and flying in a plane. I was 70 or 71, one of the two. And still plays shows, goes out there with just shorts and a t-shirt, no shoes.
The hardest thing to say. Tell me he still gets 10,000 people a show.
Oh, yeah. He'll sell out major stadiums. Yeah, and that's why they're going to strategically. What they do is now that the show will tour, and it'll go to all those cities where he sells out. And so once we get out of New York, I think it's going to do pretty well because it did great in La Jolla, in New Orleans, Houston, and Chicago. We went to all those places and sold out. It did great. Then went to Broadway. They booked a theater that I think is a 1,700 seat theater. And you got to sell those seats.
When did Margaritaville come out? I gotta look quickly.
Yeah.
Keep them entertained there.
So did you write this Broadway play? Yeah. So we wrote the story for it. So basically, you take Jimmy. They tell you, look, here's Jimmy Buffett's music.
we want to sing all these songs in the show. You guys got to come up with. I wrote it with this guy named Mike O'Malley. You guys have to come up with a story that it makes sense to hit these, to hit these songs along the way. So you got to sit down and listen to the songs and be like, all right, well, what are we going to do here? So you listen to a song and then maybe you think, all right, I'll create a character that's in that song, so it'll make sense when they're singing that song. So you kind of create the characters, listen to the songs, then you start to figure out a story and see how it all weaves together. So it was a big math project, really.
I was lucky. I went to a lot of theater as a kid. I got to go to Broadway, but it's very different. Like, 'cause you just said you write sitcom pilots, sitcom scripts in 24 hours. How long did it take you to write something like this?
Well, this was ridiculous because I don't know how long it took from just like sitting down and writing, but the process took 4 years. It took 4 years because all other people, like the producers and the director, they're working on other things. So like you'll turn in a script, you won't hear anything for 6 months, and then it just keeps changing and changing and changing. Like you do so many performances of it and so many rehearsals that they just want to keep changing and changing and changing. So it takes forever.
Have you ever written a play like previously?
No. This was the first time. I didn't go seek this out. I was sitting in my house one day and actor writer Michael Mann. What the fuck are you talking about? Musical? And he's like, yeah, man. He goes, we got it's Jimmy Buffett's music, and we got all the producers